Welcome to the Fireside Chat for Fitness and Nutrition with Adrienne and Ken. Today we're going to be talking about how to handle issues with your knees and why you need proper nutrition. Ken, would you like to start us off today?
I like it. Yes, I would. Adrienne, so talking about knees, what we're going to cover today, I'm going to give you three knee, how many exercises? One, two, four. I take that back. Four exercises for your knee, specifically for the muscles around your knee, and then three stretches to alleviate or to make the muscles around your knee joint more flexible. But first off, they need to be strong. Mm-hmm. So today we're not going to talk about hips or ankles because when the knee is just a hinge joint, it's just a simple hinge joint. So typically when things are wrong with the knee, it's due to either upstream the hip or downstream the ankle. But we're just going to talk about how to strengthen and stretch the knee joint specifically. So let me show you, let's get started with that. The first one we're going to do is what's called a quad set. So the quads are the muscles that run from the hip down into the knee. The quad means there's four of them. There's vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, vastus intermedialis, and the rectus femoris, which are both in the center here. But we're going to specifically work on this vastus medialis muscle right here. And how you do that, and the reason you want to do that is because most of the time when there's issues with the knee, it's because the kneecap is laterally, it goes lateral. It doesn't go. Here's the knee joint, or the knee, the head of the femur, and here's the patella. So if this is my right knee joint, it goes to the outside. It tracks to the outside. We want it to track in that groove. So to track it, in order to do that, this needs to be strengthened right here. So what we'll do is what's called the first one is what's called a quad set. So what you'll do is, we're going to work this leg right here. What you'll do is you're just going to press that knee, the back of the knee down into the floor. You see how my heel came off the ground? I'm not going like that. I'm not doing a leg raise. I'm pressing the knee into the floor and holding for like 3 to 5 seconds, then relax, and then do it again, so forth. And that strengthens the vastus medialis. Now, if you cannot get it to where this the ankle or the heel comes off the ground, you can put a little prop underneath your knee, and then what you do is you just go like that. You can put a pillow underneath there. You don't have to be a foam roller, but a pillow, anything that will give you feedback on if you're doing it correctly. Because if you're doing this, you're working this muscle. Okay. So it's just how it is. The last 15 degrees of extension is the vastus medialis muscle. That's the first exercise. Second exercise is what I just showed you. It's the leg raise. So here you'll lock the knee, pull the toe back, and just raise the leg up and then back down. Raise the leg up and back down. And that works not only the vastus medialis because your leg is straight, but the rectus femoris and all the other, well, actually the rectus femoris because that does hip flexion as well. So those two muscles are involved. Now, the next exercise we're going to do is a standing leg curl. And you want to get something for support. I'll just tilt this up just a little bit. I'm going to work this leg here. So we're going to work the muscles of the back leg because this goes over the knee joint. The quadriceps connect into the patella, which connect then into the quadriceps tendon, which connects into the patella, which goes into the patella tendon. So it goes across your knee joint. The hamstring muscles all go across your knee joint here. So we want to work the back. So what you'll do is you'll stand here, support for balance, and you'll kind of squeeze your knees together so that the way that you don't, when you do this exercise, we don't want it to look like this. We want it to look like this. So you work just this muscle right here. If you do this, this is called hip flexion. We don't want that. That's working these muscles up here. So we just want the back of the muscles in the back of the leg. So you just go ahead and up, and then back down, and then up, and then back down. That works the hamstring muscles, what's called the hamstring muscles. And then that's the third exercise. The fourth exercise, you want to incorporate a little bit of balance in your, because that works all the stability muscles around your knee joint. So what you do is, I'm just using a step, but you could use a stair, anything with a platform type deal. And what you'll do is you'll just go ahead and step up, and then back down. And what you want to do is when you step up, when you transfer the weight from this leg to this leg, you want to make sure that your knee doesn't go in like this as you come up. You want to track over the second toe. The knee should track over the second toe as you go up and down. And you want to kind of lock this knee out. So straighten that knee just like you did on the quad set, the first exercise. Lock the knee, then relax. And step back up and back down. And that kind of creates a little bit of balance as well, because you're going through a motion that you do every day. You're switching from one leg to the next. So there are the 4 exercises. Now I'm going to show you the stretches for them, for those muscles that we just worked. So the first stretch is a quadricep stretch. So you'll stand behind a chair or up against a wall. And what you'll do is you'll grab an ankle. And actually, this is the better way to do it. You lift the knee up, grab the ankle, and then just drop the knee down. What you'd want to do is get the knees equal to each other. So you don't want the knee in front. You want the knees equal to each other. And they're kind of together. They're not out here like this, but together. And then what you'll do is you'll go ahead, bring the heel as close to your butt as you can. And then you're going to squeeze your butt by pushing, and then push your hips forward. And you'll feel a strong stretch right here. And again, the stretch is 15 to 30 seconds. And then the second stretch is the hamstring stretch. So we just stretched the front part for the quadriceps. We're going to work the hamstrings right now. What you'll do is you'll get in the chair. This is the easiest way to do it. You can do it standing, but this is the easiest way to do it. Here, pull your toe up. You can see my toe? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here. And then just lean forward, chest to knee. See, if I go head to knee, what happens to my back? It rounds. And that takes the pressure off of the hamstring. It goes into your lumbar spine. We don't want that. We want the resistance or the pressure, the stretch to be right here. You pull your toe back and kind of pull your stomach in and lean forward, chest to knee, to transfer that stretch to the hamstring. And again, 15, 30 seconds, hold, and then switch sides and then do both. So that goes over the knee joint. Then the last thing we'll do is stretching the calf. So what you'll do is, again, for support and balance, you step back with one foot, both feet are pointing straight forward, lock this back knee, and bend the front knee, keeping that back heel on the ground until you feel the stretch right here. Because the calf goes over the knee from the ground up. Okay, so the hamstrings go from the hip down, the calves go from the other direction over the knee. So you'll stretch that and hold that again for 15, 20, 30 seconds or so, switch sides, and you can do it multiple times. You cannot stretch too much or too often. But now, that being said, you don't want to do things, you don't want to stretch to cause pain. Pain should just be a comfortable thing. It shouldn't be painful. And that's it. Do you have any questions on those 4 exercises or those 3 stretches for your knees?
Not really. I do remember kind of doing some of those types of things, like the first 2 exercises that you showed for strengthening the quads, because you mentioned knee pain can start as high as the hip or as low as the ankle, which I never really thought about because everybody just focuses on the actual hinge versus what could be going on. I think those were some really good stretches that people could fit into their coffee breaks from
Doesn't take very long. Doesn't
or
take long at all to do,
before bed or in the morning, or what would you suggest, or just wherever people can fit it in?
Whenever they can do it. I could tell you to do it at night, but if you're not a night person, if you're a morning person, do it in the morning. Yeah,
well, hopefully you guys learned how to help your knees a little bit more. We do have a recovery program and a prep and recovery program for knees. And especially if you're going to be going in for knee surgery, there is a lot that can be done with exercise beforehand and stretching and strengthening.
That is true. And it's not only the knee, but we go into the hip and the ankle, which is, I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast. We go into addressing if there's any hip issues, if there's any ankle issues, we address those as well as the knee issues as well. So,
and nutrition plays a huge role in knee health as well. So we would talk about ways of maybe reducing some extra weight that could be contributing to some of your knee issues, but then also inflammation, because on the other side of surgery, as you're starting to get, everything's going to be inflamed because it's been cut into, but there are ways to help reduce that so that you have a much better knee recovery. So check out our program. It's going to be in the description below, and share it with any loved ones that might have a knee surgery coming up or have knee issues. Now, that we've talked about needs. Why do you need proper nutrition? Well, I would say that definitely as a registered dietitian nutritionist, I've witnessed firsthand the transformative power of proper nutrition on individuals' health and well-being, and everything from diabetes, weight loss, thyroid issues, perimenopause, lots of different things. And nutrition isn't just about eating to satisfy hunger or maintaining your weight. It's really about fueling your body with essential nutrients, kind of like a car, and giving it what it needs to thrive. And so I'm going to give you some compelling reasons as to why you really need to focus on some proper nutrition and maybe make some tweaks in your own diet and lifestyle. One is optimal health. We know that a balanced diet that is rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants can help support the immune system. It can reduce the risk of chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and it promotes overall well-being. So even if you don't feel like you have those things going on, maybe you're in your early 20s, you can still have better energy too, which leads into energy and vitality. As I said before, it's like a car. So think about a Porsche, for example. You would not put 87 fuel into a car like that, would you?
No, you would not.
You would ruin it. And we all are basically Porsche 911, Porsche 911 turbos, essentially, as humans, but we're not necessarily using the best fuel for ourselves. And our body does need nutrients for energy, specifically more B vitamins, but even minerals. And there's just all of these things come together and give you a lot more natural energy so that you don't need the coffees and the 5-hour energy kinds of drinks and all that kind of stuff. If your diet is lacking in these essential nutrients, you will probably feel fatigued and lethargic, and it will impact your productivity and your quality of life. Mental health is another key part why you want to pay attention to your nutrition, because the food that you eat not only impacts your physical health, but also your mental health. And studies have shown that a diet rich in produce, like fruits and vegetables, some whole grains, and lean proteins can improve your mood and reduce depression and anxiety. It's pretty cool food. And then weight management, of course. We talked about it within the context of knees and maybe not putting too much extra weight on your knees, but you can also help you maintain a healthy weight for just how you want to look and feel, but then also reducing risks associated with obesity or overweight and those health issues. So just something to think about. Digestive health, a lot of times this is a big issue, apparently in America, not just IBS, but people tend to be constipated or have bloating. And having a diet that's rich in fiber and nutrients can support digestive health, and it reduces the risk of constipation, bloating, and other gastrointestinal issues. So another reason to consider it. If you want strong bones and teeth, you want to make sure that you are getting enough calcium and vitamin D, magnesium, other nutrients that are essential for bone health, because a diet lacking in these nutrients can lead to osteopenia, osteoporosis, or any other sort of bone-related issues. And then, of course, most of us want to age healthily, and proper nutrition is key for that. So again, you're going to get a diet that is high in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory foods if you're eating the proper things, and that can help with age-related diseases, avoiding those, and supporting overall vitality. And then basically, I would just say, as I usually do, make a tweak. If you're like, okay, well, digestive health isn't really my issue right now, but I know that I could use a little bit more natural energy. See if you can just add in some broccoli to your omelet in the morning. It does not have to be that hard to start this whole process. But do you have any questions, Ken?
You know, there's a lot of use and a lot of talking about the 5-hour energy drinks, and stuff like that. Is that actually detrimental to your health, would you say? Or do you have any thoughts on that, or do you want to say anything about that? Or
can be detrimental to your health. There's been more talk recently about a lot of teenagers using too much caffeine and various energy products or coffee products, and then having heart issues along with that.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, and basically you don't want to rely on caffeine. A lot of these things, well, most people don't know how much too much caffeine is, which can also impact your sleep because your body doesn't necessarily detoxify all that caffeine in a 2-hour period. Actually, the half-life of caffeine, depending on your individual genetics, can be more like 12 hours. So that 8 a.m. coffee could still be affecting you when you're trying to go to sleep. Something to consider. If you look at the ingredients of a lot of these energy drinks and stuff like that, they're not great. They're not health promoting. And so I would say use cautiously once in a while, but try to get most of your energy naturally by engaging in not just diet, but lifestyle habits. You can't just not sleep and top yourself up with caffeine all the time. It's like borrowing money from a bank and be like, oh, I'll take care of you tomorrow, body. But then we just keep doing the same things, right?
Yeah,
And then ultimately that doesn't lead us down a good road.
that's true.
Did that answer your question?
It did. Thank you.
Okay, and if you guys have any questions, please pop them in the comments below. We'd be happy to answer them. Or if you do try anything different, maybe a new knee strengthening exercise, if you do put broccoli in your omelet, we'd love to hear it. Also like and subscribe and check out our knee recovery program in the description. And also if you want to support our channel, there's a link in there below too. And we'll see you all next week. Take care. Bye.
Bye.